All right, what's happened in wrestling world? This week has been great. We've had some amazing people in women's wrestling. That was my goal this week to get some good women on. And we have another one of America's top wrestlers in our country, ranked number one at 144. She is Kylie Welker. She was the 2019 Wisconsin Federation champion, 2019 Cadet World's Bronze medalist. She was undefeated at Ironman duels. There was a lot more that I could have wrote down, but it would have taken me a while to go through it. So it's an absolute honor to have another amazing young wrestler in our country. Kylie Welker, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I had obviously I had your best friend on yesterday, which is pretty cool. She's number one at 132 and number two at 144, right? So you guys are going to go at it to figure out who's number one, and pretty awesome how that worked out. You and your best friend. That's got to be pretty awesome to be able to do that together. But talk about this summer. Kind of a weird summer for you.
Yeah, for sure. It was pretty slow starting out. There wasn't really many opportunities. Doing a lot of online training. But as like the summer went on, I found some training opportunities, and it's been a lot of fun so far. So
That's good. So you're out in Wisconsin?
Yep.
So how has Wisconsin been? Is it starting to open up a little bit? Has it been on the higher end of cases, lower end, strict, not so strict?
I mean, you obviously get those people who are really freaked out about it, but where I'm from, it's not too crazy. It all depends on a certain area, I guess. You go into like Madison or cities like that, and there's quite a few cases and people who are all about, staying 6 feet apart, and I guess it's the safety protocols, but it's pretty chill where I'm from, so it's not terrible.
Oh, that's good. Awesome. Well, I've had some Wisconsin folks on. It seems like wrestling in Wisconsin is a big deal, and you have some great champions there. What makes Wisconsin wrestling so great, and what got you into wrestling?
Honestly, I think it's all the private clubs that make Wisconsin, like, I guess how good we are as a wrestling community. I guess my little brother, or my older brother, he started wrestling, and he kind of got me into it. I started when I was 4, so I've been doing it for quite a while, and I go to St. in Burlington, Wisconsin, called Higher Level. So I've been coached by the same person pretty much my whole life. Honestly, I think the biggest thing is like all the private clubs got some amazing coaches and build pretty good athletes. So yeah.
Yeah, Higher Level. I've heard that name a few times. It obviously creates studs because I mean you're a badass, and there's a lot more badass coming out of there. And
Yeah, for
maybe
sure.
I hear, do they have some MMA people that come in there too and train?
Yeah, they just started up this new program over the summer. I didn't get a chance to get in there, but yeah, they were doing, I don't exactly remember what it was called, but they were doing something with boxing, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome. Well, what do you think makes Higher Level create so many champions?
I'm gonna have to give it to my coach, Anthony Dialli. I don't know, the way he runs practices, and I guess the high intensity, and I don't know, just from even when we were little kids, we do so much conditioning and intense training, and I think that's honestly what made us such like a good program. So
Have you started to be able to kick your brother's butt yet?
no, he's still got it. He's pretty big. He's like 165, so he's a bit bigger than me and pretty strong. So
Where is he Is he still wrestling?
yeah, he's actually going to Oshkosh this year and wrestling out there. So
Really nice.
yeah,
That's Wisconsin, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I had is it Coach Dennis, the Greco coach up there at Oshkosh.
Yep.
He was man, he was fiery. I asked him about getting the silver medal in the Olympics like 30 years ago. he's still pissed off about
Yeah, I
it.
bet.
That's pretty cool. Um, I was looking at your schedule, and I mean, it's competition after competition. Obviously, with COVID, uh, not much competition, but it's starting to come back, starting to open up. I'm sure you've been on the mat training. I know you do virtual school. So how are you able, with all the competition, and to stay at the level that you stay at, being number one at 144, and arguably one of the top girls in our country, pound for pound? How are you able to get your own little personal time, or be able to still get on the computer and do your virtual schooling?
Yeah, so I don't know, my schedule's kind of been all over the place, like you said. I was living out in the Olympic Training Center last year and training along like the senior level athletes, like top senior level athletes, and that was really cool. And I was doing online school out there, so it was nice because we had practice in the morning. I'd do school during the day, and then practice at night, and then just hang out with the people in the dorms, like out there. But then since COVID happened, I kind of moved back home, and training was obviously slow. There wasn't really much going on. Um, but I guess now that school started and like gyms are opening back up, I pretty much get up 6 a.m. every day, do school for however long it takes me, and then I have practice at night. I also have 5 siblings, so when they're at my house, I have to take care of them a lot. But since they're actually getting to go to school, so it's nice. I get my own little time to be alone and work on school at home. I
Damn,
guess,
5 siblings, huh?
yeah, it's crazy.
I'm on the mat too with you.
um, my older brother wrestles obviously, and then I have 2 younger brothers, and they both wrestle a little bit, and then I have 2 younger sisters that are twins. They're only 5, so not quite yet, but
You haven't thrown them around yet.
one of them is getting into it. She always is like, "Can you take me to practice?" But the other one, she's pretty shy. She's a little gentle little girl, but yeah.
That's great. Talk about having your own drill partner growing up, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, no, me and Cody have always been drill partners.
That's good. That's good that you've obviously been in situations where you've had to teach yourself at a young age to time block and responsibility, and keep yourself motivated, and understanding that both matters. And pretty cool at the Olympic Training Center. And with the young kids up there like yourself, that they know we're going through school too. Do they make sure that you don't lose focus on that as well? Like, you're here to train, but we also know you got to do your schoolwork.
Yeah, no, they were really good about it. We had her name was Shannon. She was the EAP director, and she pretty much set up like, I think we had study hall for 2 hours, like 3 times a week. And then if we were like falling behind, we had to go into school, which I was always pretty good about school, staying on. I always tried to get ahead, but yeah, she was always there on getting on the boys for sure. But no, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the oh, being at the Olympic Training Center? What was the coolest moment, or somebody you got to meet or see or train with? You were like, wow, holy moly, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yeah, I guess like all of the senior camps were really cool because you have all the athletes from, all over the country, like Forrest, Tamara, like all those really great girls around, like a little bit bigger, but around my size. And there's Kayla Miracle, and just being able to, compete, just see where I'm at. It was really cool.
Yeah, that had to be, as a young athlete, seeing, I'm sure a lot of them you look up to and want to be at their level, right? So to get to
Yeah.
kind of see your idols or whoever you look up to as a kid, it's got to be pretty dope. Um,
Yeah. Sure.
What's it been like? I know that you have competed a little bit at the high school level, right? I know you went on to do like the Federation champion, things like that, but for the most part, you've had your eyes pretty set on that world path.
Yep.
Um, what's that been like competing on the world level? Obviously, you qualified for the world team. I think you qualified at your weight. Skylar qualified at her weight. You both went on to represent the USA, both did amazing. One got silver, one got bronze. Obviously, I know you wanted gold, but
Yeah,
still that's pretty damn good. So congratulations.
thank you.
To be bronze in the world is there's not only three of you. So uh, that's awesome. But what's that experience been like to be able to compete with the very best and at that level?
Um, it's been crazy. It's I went to four international competitions last year, the first one being Worlds. Um, Worlds was actually my first international competition back since I went to Chile for schoolgirls. I had a knee injury. I had 3 surgeries not that long ago, so that was like my first international competition back. And I was so focused that tournament. Like my eye was set on that gold. And obviously facing a pretty hard loss in the semis, it was defeating, but I got back and had to win that last match to take bronze home. I guess after that, I went to Russia. And Russia, that was probably one of my favorite trips ever. Like that's when I really bonded with all the girls. Being out there wrestling with all those, I guess, top athletes from other countries, I don't really look at them as anything different than anyone in the US. Like I'm there to win. I'm there to compete and do my best. Then I went to Germany. That was a lot of fun. Good training opportunities there. Learned a lot from that camp. Um, did pretty good at that competition too. And then I went to Sweden, and yeah, I've been to Sweden before, but that's always really great competition out there. So it's different, crazy going to all these countries, seeing all the different like cultures and everything. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, wow. How many 16-year-olds can say they've gotten the opportunity to travel the world already? I mean, some people don't get to do that their entire life. So, man, how important has wrestling been to you?
Yeah, very. I mean, it's definitely changed my life. Kind of put my, I guess, focus on it. I've had some really big goals since as long as I can remember. So it's good to have that, I guess, that focus and that overall main goal. So,
Who has where was your favorite place to visit?
um, honestly, I honestly really liked Russia just because, like, the people there, they weren't, I guess, the kindest, but like from Russia, they weren't the kindest, but we got to do a lot of like sightseeing and that was amazing. We went with STEM and that was a lot of fun traveling with all those girls, but there was the 5 other girls that weren't part of STEM and we kind of had like our own little group. And ever since that trip, we've all been best friends and it's just crazy. And I really like traveling like all around Russia, looking at all the different things to see. So that was definitely probably my favorite. It's lots of fun.
Oh, that's very cool. You know, how have you been able to train your mind and your technique to be on the level you are? I mean, what effort does it take? Would you tell like little girls out there right now that want to be Kylie Welker? You know, what kind of effort do they need to put in, mind, body, and soul, to get to this level?
Yeah, so I guess staying focused is a really big thing because growing up and like the older you get, the more I guess distractions there's gonna be, and you just gotta keep reminding yourself that what your goals are, and you have to tell yourself like, if I want to achieve these goals and do these amazing things, like not everyone's gonna get to travel the country, like you said, in the world, like, and I guess you just got to look at that as I get to do this when other people, get to just hang out as friends. And you got to remind yourself that I have bigger things to do than just being a regular teenager. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
honestly,
had Yanni said that people that want to be, if you want to have a normal childhood, then go be a normal kid. But if you want to be elite, then you need to do things differently. Is that
yeah,
something that's very true?
very, very true. Yeah, it's been difficult because obviously, like, my hometown friends, they're like even if they are into wrestling, it's just high school wrestling. Like it's serious to a certain extent, but then you get on the next level and it's just a whole different type of, I guess, breed of athlete you have to be. And yeah, honestly, it's crazy. And I've definitely learned that over the past year that I can't have both best of both worlds. I can't be normal and have these amazing goals. You have to be one or the other. So it's definitely something I've learned. So
That's all. What was it like? Obviously, for a long time, I'm sure you had to compete against boys because that was all there was, right? And now being on the world level, you're obviously competing against girls all the time. You're in rooms with girls, you're on teams with girls.
yeah.
What's the transition like from always competing against boys to having to transition to girls?
Yeah, so I pretty much competed against boys all the way up until 8th grade year. I was pretty like big into competing against them. Like I didn't really work much into women's wrestling because it wasn't that big at the time. Like there wasn't, especially just in Wisconsin. Like I didn't get to. If I were to travel the national tournaments, it'd be against boys. So just I think that's honestly what made me so good was having to compete against the boys because when I was competing against the girls, like I was just walking right through them. The transition was, I guess, a little different for me because I was still pretty small my 8th grade year, not like super small, but I was able to compete with the boys. But once I got injured and had 3 knee surgeries, I had to take the whole year off. So I grew a bit, and right after that, I just went right into all girls pretty much. I don't think I competed in a boys tournament after that. So transition was not terrible because I had that like gap year, I guess you could say, but it was definitely different. But my mindset changed right away, right after that. So
Yeah, because what I'm told is from other girls was with wrestling boys, you're always focused on legs because their upper body's so strong, right? So legs, 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 and then when you're looking at girls now, their hips and legs are so strong, and you're trying to get to the upper body, and
yeah.
just the adjustment of the style. Um, but then also you were doing folk, right? And then you transitioned
Mhm.
to freestyle, right? And now I'm guessing on the world level, that's all you wrestle, right?
Yeah, even if I'm training and the boys are training folk style, like I have those amazing partners that are willing to wrestle freestyle with me. So that's definitely huge. I think wrestling freestyle all year long is really where you make those gaps. So yeah, it's pretty great.
That's cool. So what are obviously the growth of women's wrestling has been amazing, and then now getting to see uh, young awesome ladies like yourself coming up, but getting to see you guys promoted on big levels, I think is going to be great for the sport because now when you get to the senior level, people are going to be like, hey, I know Kylie, I know Skylar, I know Chloe, whatever the names are, and it's going to be a lot easier to say promote me. It's going to be a lot easier to offer you money. It's going to be a lot easier to put you on a bigger stage, um,
Yeah.
because that's their excuse, right? Well, we can't promote you. We don't know who you know. Nobody knows who you are. They all know these people, but um, people are getting to know who these badass girls are. So it's good to see, um, and it's fun to watch. What are your future goals? I know obviously your goal, I'm sure, is to be an Olympic champion at some point. But but kind of immediate goals. Are you looking at colleges yet? Are you thinking about that? Is it the world level? Is it back to the Olympic Training Center for you? What?
Yeah, so I guess with everything going on with COVID, I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Olympic Training Center, but I guess like you said, the overall main goal is the Olympics, and if I will, college is obviously like an option. I just don't know because, um, like you said, it's growing still, so it's not too big with college. But if I need to do online college in order to get more training, in order to achieve my overall goal, like I'll do that. But I guess I'm kind of just taking it day by day. I haven't really like invested much in looking into colleges, kind of waiting for the D1 programs to open up a little bit because they haven't. But
Yeah.
um,
Well, I don't think you need to look for colleges. I think they'll find you.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just kind of waiting here.
I mean, I had Coach Rademacher on earlier with
Mhm.
Indiana Tech, and he messaged me last night. The first thing he said was, "You got Kylie Welker on after me? Tell her about Indiana Tech." So, so
Yeah.
he threw out a recruiting shout out to you. So you've got who's number one coming up? It's only the second time girls will be on there, right? I think that's what Skylar said.
Yep.
But how cool is that? You're going to wrestle your best friend on who's number one because you guys are both transitioning to the same weight class, and I'm sure this is going to be a battle that we're going to see for years to come. Um,
Yeah.
you guys could go out for dinner and barbecues afterwards, right? But on the
Pretty much. Yeah. I'm excited.
what was that conversation like when you guys both got called?
So I remember getting the email and they said they were gonna reach out to Skylar shortly, like right after me. And so I texted her and I was like, OMG, like just wait for it. She goes, wait for what? You'll see, just wait. And she was like, okay. And then she's like, oh my goodness, like I got the email. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be so cool. I was like, did you accept it? She's like, well, yeah. And I was like, okay, sweet. I was like, I don't want this to be like weird between us because obviously like we have quite a really good friendship. So I was like, let's just do business on the mat and, stay best friends off. So I don't know, pretty excited. I'm not too concerned about, losing this friendship because it's a pretty strong one. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of wrestlers out there that you got to compete against each other. But it happens in all sports. How many friends compete on the basketball court, the tennis court, the soccer field?
yeah.
So, but I'm sure you guys have secretly gone at it many times in the room. So it's
Yeah.
not like it's going to be the first time you're wrestling each other. But it's got to be pretty cool to, it's one thing, hey, I get to wrestle my best friend, but on one of the biggest stages in our country that the girls are going to be on. So it's pretty cool to have that moment with your friend, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Ever since they had Macy and Kennedy on the Who's Number One card, I was like, wow, that'd be so cool. Like I really want to do that. And soon enough, I was starting getting promoted about it. Like I had some just Instagram accounts trying to feature me and this other girl named Cheyenne to get on the card. And, that really got me excited. I was like, like maybe I could grab their attention. Like it'd be super cool. And then I got the email and I was so excited. So really excited for it.
Yeah, well, you keep knocking them down. They'll keep finding you. Don't worry. Just you do your talking on the mat. That being said, what's that one match or that one tournament where after that tournament you were like, wow, people really know who I am now?
I mean, I guess no one really knew who I was. Obviously, like I had some young success as a schoolgirl. I made the first ever schoolgirl Pan Am team and took bronze up there. And then I made the next year after that, I took gold at that Pan Am's at the youngest, like I guess world level. So that was pretty cool. I don't think many people they knew who I was, but not as much as they do now. Then after I took that year off, like I wasn't really around. Like it was my first year cadet. I've never gone to Fargo. Like I never, got that first year. And then I went and I was ranked, like I was Cheyenne Bowman, was ranked or like predicted to win the bracket, and that like lit a fire under me. I was like, that's not happening. Like I'm gonna win this tournament. And I guess many people didn't really know who I was at that point. And then I went and I won body bar and then made the world team. And then I went to Worlds. And I think after Worlds, I kind of really shot my name up. So that was really cool. But I guess over the past.
Did you get your opportunity against her?
What was that?
Did you get your opportunity against Cheyenne?
Yeah, we wrestled in the semi. So I think the final score was like 9-1 or something. But
you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it was good.
Yeah. So they learned their lesson to bet against you.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like that too much.
It sounds that way. That's good. Hey, that's awesome. Well, hey, I mean, congratulations on all your success, and keep kicking life's ass. And I'm so honored that Coach Medina set us up, and I got to talk to you, got to meet you, and hopefully maybe one day in the future I'll get to shake your hand and say thank you for coming on my show.
Yeah,
It's
for
really
sure.
it's definitely an honor to have um, young athletes come on here and actually be a part of it. I just started the show for a purpose, to give back to a sport that just does so much for everybody, and it's become this. So it's been insane. Like I'm
Yeah.
literally sitting in my house upstairs with there's nothing fancy about it. So
Yeah,
um,
thank you for having me. It's great that you're doing this for, just the sport of wrestling. Such an amazing sport. So,
yeah, I love it. All right, you ready for the 10 questions?
all right. Yep. We'll see them.
All right, mac and cheese or ramen noodles,
Mac and cheese.
especially in Wisconsin, right? That's like the
Yeah.
cheese capital of the world.
Cheese
Uh,
steak.
yeah, coach. Coach, I was on earlier, said to ask you how good the cheese curds are in Wisconsin.
It's so good. Story time. Culver's is owned by Wisconsin. And we have one right in my hometown. So I always eat at Culver's, like after like wrestling tournaments or duels or whatever. And their cheese curds is always what you get as a side. And I was really disappointed because when I went out to Colorado, like I thought they didn't have Culver's, but I found one and I got their cheese curds and I was actually really disappointed. So
Oh,
nothing can beat our cheese. I'm just gonna say that.
that's perfect. It's crazy how that works in different parts of the country. Like I remember going to North Carolina, and you go to a McDonald's and they have a ham biscuit, but it's with country ham and orange marmalade. It's not like
Yeah.
this crap I'll get here, right? Like it's
Yeah, for sure.
actually good quality. I'm like, hey, what's up with that? That's awesome. All right, you go funk roll or leg lace?
Leg lace.
Ice cream or froyo?
Ice cream.
Good, good. Waist roll or chest lock?
Um, like waist roll, like a gut.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll have to go with gut.
Okay. Maybe I need to change that to like gut wrench or something.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Scrambled or over easy?
Scrambled.
You like the head and arm or the suplex?
Suplex for sure.
You go wings or strips?
Ooh, chicken strips. Or
Single or
boneless
double?
wing. Single leg.
There's no rules to it, so you could say both. You go Snickers or Kit Kat?
Not a fan of either, but if I had to choose, Snickers.
Snickers. High C or foot sweep?
Probably a high C.
What is your favorite candy bar?
I like sour candy, so like those sour punch straws. But
Nice.
yeah.
What's your go-to meal after a match?
I really like Italian or barbecue. Olive Garden's always a go-to, like if there's one around.
Bottomless pasta bowl?
Yes. No, I love their soup. So the soup and breadsticks.
Nice. Well, good for you. I will definitely be tuning in to Who's Number One and watching you two go at it, and look forward to seeing you hug at the end and putting girls on the map. So I had asked Skylar, I go, are you guys going to do like, hey, nobody pin each other. We're going to just make it look good, or do all these crazy moves just to show them that girls are badasses too. And she's like, no, that's not going to happen. Like we both want to win.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be good. We both have the mindset to, I guess, just wrestle how we normally wrestle, and best will win. So
Pretty cool. All right. Well, this has been awesome. And again, thank you so much. And tell Jessica, thank you so much for having you girls on here. And again, I'll be rooting for you.
sweet. Thank you.
I'll be like a fan divided watching the match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Can it be a tie?
Yeah. I'm sure that's how all of our best friends are gonna be too.
Awesome.
So
Well, hey, keep doing your thing. I look forward to seeing you grow through the sport, watching you on big stages, and It's just a blessing to have you on. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.